Hi, thanks for stopping in. I thought I'd share with you today what I'm working on. Sometimes it's under my needle, sometimes it's on my work table, sometimes it's laundry or dishes or other housework, which I won't bother to share that with you because everybody does that and it's really not anything worth vlogging about at all. But I want to show you what I have under my needle, so to speak, or in preparation or different stages of things. I don't do one thing all day, every day. I move around and I do different things. I do several different things in a day, and it depends on what I've got going on in my life and what time of the day it is. Because sometimes you just can't do everything in one day the way that you think you ought to. So I kind of stretch it out and do things at different times in the day. So let's head over to the work table and take a look at what's there. So to start off, what I'll show you is actually what I'm probably going to be doing tonight after I've spent my day doing work and oh, I don't know, piecing or cutting fabric or whatever. But I have some placemats to bind. I have some placemats to bind. This is cappuccino placemats and they are made with jelly rolls, 2.5 inch strips or jelly rolls. I actually found a jelly roll that I really like. It's bright colors, and I used white as a background. And every single one of them is off of the same jelly roll, but every single one of them is slightly different. Now I have a few extra papers because the papers come with enough to do a set of 4 placemats. Well, I wanted to have a little bit more on my table, so I have a set of 4 placemats, and then I have additional placemats that I've turned end to end. I've sewn end to end like this from one end to the other as a table runner. And now I have the binding on, and I'll be turning that and hand stitching that down in my easy chair with my feet up, watching TV with my husband tonight. Here's one that I'm working on right now, and you can see my pins are here in place. And here's the other one. There's a few more that are already finished and not in the pile, but you can see the variation in the colors. I like it a lot. It's a fun little project, very simple and easy for a beginner. And it uses 2.5 inch strips, which I don't think you can go wrong doing that. I really like how the colors have gone together, whether it's blue and red and yellow and green, orange and purple. It's a rainbow to me, and I love it how it all goes together. But that's what I'm doing this evening at the end of the day when I really don't have to think about a whole lot except just to stitch. And that's good for me. I don't like idle hands. The next thing that I am going to be working on today is I am doing the prep on my seasonal table runner. Again, there's a high gloss on this cover photo, but I wanted to show you what I'm working on. It's the seasonal table runner that is included in the second quarter of the subscription box. And my colorway is this in Tula Pink. Um, I haven't done a lot in Tula. There is not a shop that's local to me that carries very much of Tula, and I wanted to be able to have a complete project, so I bought the kit for this particular one. And I am really enjoying just playing around with the colors. So right now, what I'm at is I'm at uh, the C units, and you can see what I've already done is I have put swatches of fabrics on my papers because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors plus the background of black on here and white in the center. I need to know where those colors go so that I'm going to be doing the right thing and getting all of these where they need to be. So, the other part of it is that when you get a pattern, if you haven't done this before, I can tell you that this saves my bacon more times than not is to put the swatches on your page in your pattern book so that you can refer to that because the labels that come with these fabrics they don't always stick around. You don't always know exactly where they're going to be, and you need to have that a lot. So um, don't. don't feel like it's being a waste of time, because I promise you it will save you a lot of thinking or rethinking or redoing over and over. If you already have it and you know what it is, put it in here, and it's like a memory saver. It's a brain saver, and it does save my hair from time to time, so that I don't have to rethink everything. So I put it on here, and now I put it on my papers. You don't have to put it on everyone, but if you do, then that's not a bad thing either, because you want to make sure that you've got this color on the other side of the paper where you're sewing it on. It's a real good time saver. And these are the triangles that will be coming out of all of these colors that come labeled in the kit. It's not going to take me much time to get these ready, and then I'll be ready to sew it. And of course, then I have my cutting templates for the black fabrics and the white fabrics that go along to create the backgrounds in these areas. Very good. It's a wonderful way to be organized, and I love that about all of these patterns. So that's a pattern prep that I'm doing. I'm in the middle of at the moment, and I'll finish that today. And now there's another thing that I'm working on. I'm actually sewing on this, and I've been working on this off and on in between other projects for a while. And this is my version of a vintage rose. It is I've done it in patriotic colors, and I've used grunge with the fabric line. And I have to say, the more I use it, the more I'm loving it. I will also, when I am hemming or binding tonight, I'm going to be pulling papers off of this. This is a section. These are the swags in here. And I'm really looking forward to taking the papers off of this and starting another unit. I've done several, and I would be happy to do an online uh, class, a live class. This would have to be Zoom in order to uh, fulfill the obligations that I have as a certified instructor for these patterns. This is a technique of the month, and I believe this was probably 4 releases ago. So probably about 4 to 8 years ago. Well, in January, it will have been 8 years ago, I believe. It's one of the older ones, but it is an absolute classic and a real beauty. And every coloring gives it a different look. I wanted a patriotic look, so I wanted this to look like bunting. This is what I envision, the bars, the medals and ribbons that are on the uniforms, and our the colors of our flag. I have a red, I have a blue, I have excuse me, I have a red and a white, and I have 4 different blues, ranging from the very darkest to the very lightest. And I added gold in there as well, because gold is definitely amongst the ribbons and the colorings that are awarded to our military. Um, I wanted it to look more like a medal than a flower. And I think that I've managed to do that. It just has a completely different look to it than any of the other colorings that I've seen on vintage rose. So I'll be showing this when I finish it. And at another point in time, I'll be offering a Zoom class on this. And if I get enough interest from those that are viewing this, then of course that will come sooner rather than later. Um, the other thing that I wanted to share with you about, and maybe you don't know, but maybe you do, but I'll just refresh a few memories here, and that is Technique of the Month, or a TOTM. A Technique of the Month is printed and distributed, a new one every other year. The next one coming up is in 2025. January of 2025 is when the next Technique of the Month will be presented. And it's beautiful. Jungle Magnolia is beautiful. And I'll talk about that another time. But these Technique of the Month classes, there are very certain and strong stipulations on how we are allowed to both sell and teach these. These patterns are a benefit of being certified either as an instructor or as a shop. Only certified instructors and certified shops can sell these patterns. You cannot even get these patterns directly from Quiltworks. You must purchase them directly from a certified instructor or certified shop. Now, as a certified instructor, I can only sell them as a component of a class. If I have a person that contacts me directly, I cannot sell it to you unless you take it as a class from me. However, a shop, if you want to do a pattern and you don't want to take a class, or you don't need a class because you've already made one, or you know that you can do it because you've done other Technique of the Month classes, but you only want to purchase a pattern, you must purchase that pattern from a certified shop. They can sell only patterns with no class attached. They can sell patterns and kits with no class attached. I, however, can only sell a pattern or a kit if it is attached to a class. And that's the stipulations. There are benefits for both sides of that, as far as a shop or an instructor. And there are a few of us on in the rosters of certification that are both a shop and an instructor. And some of those are very well known. And when I have reason to share those more with you, then I will. Particularly if I have a kit from one of them, or if I'm going to be uh, at their location or something, I'll make sure that you know who they are and how to get a hold of them. But for now, that's what's on my agenda for the day. I thought it would be interesting to show you. It changes from day to day, and sometimes it's a lot of sewing with several projects, and sometimes I'm just powering through trying to get through one certain thing so I can finish it and then have a reveal. But for today, that's what's on my plate. And I hope that you enjoyed the visit that we had. I appreciate you stopping in, and I hope your bobbins are never empty. Have a fabulous day.